Okay, so chapter 9 is the chi-square distribution, where I'll be looking at tables. So it says intro to tables. It's really intro to hypothesis testing with tables. They're going to be the chi-square distribution, and that x squared is the symbol for the chi-square distribution. So that should help you decide what tests you're going to run on your calculator. There's going to be two different types of tests, the contingency tables and the goodness of fit test. So between today and tomorrow, you should be working with the contingency tables. Then the next 2 days we'll probably spend on the goodness of fit test. So today, this video is going to be the null and alternate. They are written out a little differently. These are still hypothesis tests, so your setup, your answers should look the same. Your null and alternate, alpha level, p-value, and then a conclusion. This time, your null and alternate are going to be in sentence form. They will not be an equation or inequality in your null and alternate. It's going to be a statement. So we're looking at contingency tables first. Contingency tables, testing the relationship of the variable on a two-way table. So there's going to be two variables, and what we're looking for are they independent? Are the two variables independent from each other, or is there a relationship? Okay, so I'm going to show two examples of the null and alternate. So here is our SAT example. Now it has 95% confidence, so just like before, that's going to help us with our alpha when we get to it. But sometimes you just have to look at the table and decide, okay, increase, same, decrease. So we're talking about the second time you're taking the SATs. Did your score increase? Did it stay the same? Or did it decrease? And we're looking at preparation. Did you take a course? Did you get a prep book? Or did you just do no prep and you just decide to take the test again? So there are the two variables. Did your score increase or decrease or stay the same? And how did you prepare for the exam? Now, even though you're writing these null and alternates in sentences, everyone's null and alternate should read almost exactly the same. So for the null, we still have the HO as the symbol for the null. And I have, there is no association with the method of SAT prep and the difference in test scores. The first four words, there is no association, that should be the same for everybody. So if you want to put relationship instead of association, I'm fine with that. But make sure there is no relationship. There is no association. And then you're stating what the two variables are. Okay, don't just say there's no association. Tell me no association with what? In this case, it's SAT prep and the difference in the test scores. The alternate is just going to be the opposite. So we have, there is an association with method of SAT prep and the test scores. Okay, so again, we have the HA as the symbol for the alternative, and we have our statement. So take a second and look at those. And again, the first four words in both should be exactly the same for everybody. There is no association for the null. There is an association for the alternative. Our next example is looking at passing high school. We have 99% confidence. So again, that's going to be helpful when we get to the alpha level. And we have male, female, so obviously we're looking at gender, and then we have pass and fail. So there are two variables. So again, just by looking at the table, we can see gender, pass, fail, high school. Okay, so we don't need a huge description of what's going on to be able to tell what the variables are. So for our null, it should start out, there is no association. There is no association with gender and passing high school. That's simple. It's not, I don't need you to get into great detail about the two variables. Now, if the null says there is no association, that means the alternative is going to be opposite. The opposite is going to read, there is an association with gender and passing high school. Okay, so just like before, step one is writing out your null and alternate. So there is your null and alternate for the contingency tables. The next video is on show an example on how to get the p-value on your calculator. And we still need our alpha level and then the conclusion at the end.